B. Byron and Oakley have been enslaved by robots. Dance for your dinner, monkeys.
Houston, we have a problem.
Crazy parents, crazy life.
That's why you listen to me!
Oh, wait a minute, let me change my icon.
And guess what, fuckface?
看下一个浪考考耶！
Lit. Lit.
Coming to you live from the SS Yellow Submarine.
Guys, it's been like 3 weeks since we've done one of these.
I have no idea what's happening right now.
I don't either. I can't hear anything.
I don't know why that's playing.
What? What's playing?
We were just getting the intro audio. I've no.
Hello.
We're having some kind of major fucking technical breakdown here. Yeah, apparently we forgot completely how to do it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh shit. We were just getting we had our feed we had our hangout playing into the audio.
Oh.
Excuse me, I'm about to start raging. Anyway, great start, guys. Keep it up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
Bizzle, what's happening, man?
Nothing much. I'm fucking with the HD resolution on my camera. See how blurry I look?
Oh. Oh my god.
And then look at me now, HD. All right, we doing this?
For the YouTube viewers.
Yeah, buddy. You're really missing out if you're not watching us on YouTube.
Are we starting over?
No. We're
All
good.
right. Guys, it's been like 3 weeks. What's everyone been up to?
Be a little rugged, but we'll edit the audio version in post.
Guys, we have not been able to meet in a really long time. How was your college reunion?
It was awesome. To our credit, though, we did every fucking week for about like 4 months. So I'm proud of us for that. College reunion was good. I won't ever go to another one. You go because you feel like you need to, like you have major FOMO if you don't go. And then you get there and you're like still dodging the same people that you dodged when you were in college. And people come up to you and they go way past the whole like awkward, gesture of, hey, how are you? They're like, where do you work? Where are you living? How are things? Like, it's just fucking say hi and walk on,
Nobody cares.
How can I compare my status to yours?
Right.
But the worst part is, like, I had gone through a phase, like, a couple of years ago where I, like, unfriended all these people on Facebook because I hadn't talked to them in 10 years. And then they come up, like, one person's like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. Like, did you see that thing I posted on Facebook? Because one person posted something about, like, who they want to see or whatever. And I was like, no, I didn't see it. It just gets so awkward.
But you were friends with a professional football player.
Oh, no, I'm not friends with him. He just went to the school and was taking pictures. So I was like, score, goal. The funny thing is, though, he lives in Jersey and he plays for the New York Giants. His name's Mark Herzlich, and he's famous because he was a great college football player, but he also battled cancer and won, and now he's playing for the Giants. The way I know him, though, is my friend signed up for a personal trainer in New Jersey, and so she pulls up to the personal trainer's house, and it's this like fucking ridiculous house in like Nutley, New Jersey. And she goes in there, and there's all this Giants paraphernalia and like a Super Bowl ring, and she's like, "Fuck, I'm training with the fiance of the New York Giants, so like this bitch is gonna kick my ass." So that's how we got the introduction, that we met him on Saturday, and so I was like, "Let me act athletic and post a picture." We'll tweet the picture out for those of you who are dying to see me with someone who is 10 years younger and a lot better shape than I am.
Hashtag sports.
Yeah. Hashtag MLB, hashtag Stanley Cup. I hope the Giants win the Stanley Cup. There's a lot of talk about it. Bring it back to New York.
Dunk dunk.
Liz, how was Harry Potter Land?
Oh my god, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, I went to Disney World this past week. Disney World or Disneyland, I can never tell.
World.
Disney World. Kind of didn't really realize what I was getting myself into. Signed up for a trip to Florida. Thought we were just gonna be going to the beach the whole time. Turns out, like, the people I was with are like huge theme park people. I don't know how that works, but I went to the theme park on Friday and Saturday. No, Thursday and Friday. Spent ungodly amounts of money. You just hemorrhage money when you go.
Yeah.
But it ended up being pretty fun. I wouldn't necessarily say it was worth all the money. We broke it down, and apparently it was like $25 per ride. But
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Did you even go on a lot of rides?
The lines and like it was crazy. And I don't understand. We showed up at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The people that go in like the morning and stay all day long. I don't understand how there's not more like murders by garroting in Disneyland because it's just, I don't know, I couldn't handle it for more than like 8 hours. But it was really fun. I got back into roller coasters, although I was never actually into roller coasters. So I guess I got into roller coasters for the first time.
I definitely cannot do roller coasters. I have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I would just get on one and die. It's better for me to fucking just steer clear of them. The one time I did a roller coaster was senior year of high school. We did a class trip over there. And you remember that Batman ride in Great Adventure, New Jersey, where you like sit down and your legs are hanging and it comes over your shoulders? So I was like, all right, I'll do this. Like, I was going with my best friend. I was like, at least I'm with someone. I won't be afraid. We're the last people online. We get the last seats in the motorcycle. It shows how much I know. In the roller coaster with no one behind us. So you're even more fucking scared, right? Then my best friend was big, like very big, and the shoulder things wouldn't go down on him because he kind of had a hunchback. So they told him, like, sorry, you can't ride this. So I was already strapped in. So I'm the last person, and I don't have anyone on my left. That shit scared me from roller coasters for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm cool with roller coasters. I can't really hang with like the spinning rides.
Yeah.
Or like
Oh.
Going the straight line speed and like going over the hills and stuff is fine, but it's the ones that are basically just designed to make you nauseous.
Yeah. And I think like most of the allure of, or like whatever the mystique of these roller coasters is just the psychological torture that they put you through directly before they put you on the ride. Like the ride itself isn't that scary. It's just like the fear and the expectation and the psychological torture. Like we went on Space Mountain, which was in the Magic Kingdom, and it's definitely for children, and I'm not a child, but like just the way that they like psych you up for it, and then you're on the ride, and it's like not actually that scary. But I wonder if I would like to figure out like who designs these rides and like how they figure out how to like enact the highest level of like psychological torture at like 9-year-olds.
The worst part though is the stuff that you're eating at the park definitely does not mix well with the way those rides fucking move. Like you got a stomach full of hot dog and cotton candy, and then they're spinning you around really fast.
Well, the better ones are if you go to like a state fair.
Yeah.
Because then like the bolts are flying out of the thing, the like operator's face, like, and the food is even more heinous.
I had gone to not even a state fair. It was a Bronx fair on Villa Avenue, which is like this like old Italian section of the Bronx. And I remember I was wearing these like white sweatpants shorts. I had to have been like 8 years old or whatever. And I get to the fair, and my dad had given me like a big handful of change, and so I had it in my pocket. Like I didn't have any like dollars to pay for like drinks or candy or whatever. I just had a lot of change. So I got on this thing, which is the Rock and Roller. And it looked like it was like an octopus holding toilet paper rolls, right? So like you get into a toilet paper roll and you get strapped in, and the octopus spins, and those things roll. All the fucking change was coming out of my pockets. And I was screaming because I was afraid, and I was just like this fat kid with a big white sweatpant wedgie, moose knuckle. All my change just like scattered, and I just remember crying. And I think I was like 19. But guys, the whole point of being afraid of these types of things is the fear of death, right? And now that Alice from Brady Bunch, friend of the pod, is gone, I'm not afraid of death anymore.
Wherever death is, so is shape.
Yeah, and we just need to be reunited with her again. The thing that I'm bothered with is that God took her and left us with Pitbull and Misha Barton. I, I could have sworn those two were next on the list.
Yeah. God,
And he just skipped right past her to Ann B. Davis.
right. Yeah, he's like, I'm taking Maya Angelou and Angelou. You guys can have.
What else is going on in the news?
It's a pretty big news week, I
Yeah.
would say.
So we're totally like out of sync on our news cycle. Let me quickly check the.
I think I drew a dick picture on it.
To see what we've been wanting to talk about the last couple of weeks because we keep being like, all right, we're gonna do an episode, then no, so we have a bunch of stuff, but Bean and I have been watching the Edward Snowden interview on NBC, which is really interesting. Byron, did you watch any of that?
No, but earlier this morning Liz sent me the thing saying you guys were watching it, so I'll watch it later.
So let's see. Okay, first, before we do anything else, I want to respond to a Twitter question.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
At Macmillan has a question for us. He asks, I need this sorted out. Griffins, do they have live birth or lay eggs?
That's a really good question.
Like Peter Griffin? Who's Griffin?
You know what a griffin is? It's like sort of a combination of like a lion and like an eagle. It's like a cat with like wings.
It exists? Something like that exists?
I thought that maybe
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're totally real.
That's fucking scary.
From the sky and they snatch up children and eat them.
I'm afraid of fucking millipedes when I see in my apartment. What's gonna happen when a griffin comes out of my fucking toilet?
Imagine a millipede except for it's like a lion with wings.
Holy shit.
griffin is like a mule. When a lion and an eagle mate, they have barren offspring. I don't think that they lay anything.
Oh wow.
Sorry, that's my fucking science knowledge. Drop on your faces.
That's a sound
Just
theory.
like a griffin poop.
Why did anyone ask us that question?
Because we know the answer.
Because we are willing to opine on anything.
Anything.
True.
And
Guys, since Griffin asked us that question, it's well known throughout the iTunes community that I was in South Africa for a week and a half. So I went on a safari, and I'm possibly the worst person to go on safari because I hate animals, I hate dirt, I hate sun, I hate bugs. So I was just a big fucking bitch for 3 days. But so the first day we go on safari at night, and it was fine. Like no animals were out. They give you booze. Like you drive up to this mountaintop, you drink, you watch the sunset. And I'm like, this safari is fucking cool. Like I could do this. Next morning they wake us up at 5 a.m. Take us an hour into the jungle, say get out of the vehicle, and then very, very like somber, they're like, be very careful, guys. Like walk in a single file, don't run. If you see a lion, lay down. Like all this fucking shit that they could have told us a lot earlier. So I asked if I could just go home, but they were like, we're an hour away from the camp. Like you have to stay with us. That shit was the most terrifying, and it's 3.5 hours of walking uphill. Luckily, all we saw was a rhino, so I wasn't worried about that. But yeah, I don't recommend safaris.
That sounds a lot like when I went on the Jurassic Park ride. I was equally as scared and nonplussed, and I just wanted to go home.
were you expecting to be able to bring home a baby velociraptor to raise as your own?
I mean, and they definitely wouldn't let me.
Did you go to Jurassic Park this past trip, or you had gone when you were younger?
This is this past trip.
Oh my god. Were you thinking of the Jeff Goldblum laugh track that we played the last time we did?
I was like, how did we just listen to this? Alright. That's actually manner.
Well, so Dave, the answer that we've come up with is that griffins, being the progeny of eagles and lions, are not capable of reproducing. This is as poorly researched and unscientific an answer as we can possibly provide you, and we hope that it's satisfactory. Thanks for watching the show.
Dangerous.
Macmillan, we had budget cuts, so like we had to let go of our science department.
The Chinese Association of America kind of dropped us.
You know they don't like science. They're all about their own remedies.
0
Right.
minus any competence.
0 minus all the money I spent at Disney.
You blew the production budget at Disney World?
It came out of the pod budget.
Damn. That stupid purple dragon Figmo got our whole budget.
You're going to remember his name. Oh, I have a question for ourselves. Goofy and Pluto. Those are the Disney dogs, right?
Yeah.
Animals are they?
This is a great point.
Mhm.
So, they're both dogs.
Somebody
Yeah.
said a horse. Somebody said Pluto was a horse.
No.
No.
And Goofy's a dog. So, if Pluto and Goofy are both dogs, that means Pluto's a slave.
Oh,
Yeah.
How's that?
wow.
Because only one can speak and wear pants.
Right. And Pluto has to crawl around on the ground in a servile manner.
Yep.
And eat off the ground. But Goofy eats at the table and has a job.
Yeah.
Pet.
Dog slave.
Speaking of Disney characters, is Daffy Duck a Disney character? No, right?
Yeah, he is.
Donald is the Disney. Daffy is like the Warner Brothers. one.
Oh, okay. So Donald's Disney. So, you know, Father's Day's coming up, and while I was on reunion, I was with a couple of my friends, and one of my friends got an email from his mom being like, just some ideas for your dad's Father's Day gifts. And so she lists out these things like Walmart slippers, and she goes, trust me, he needs them, I checked. And then she goes, shower radio, and then there's the model number. And then she goes, pajamas, just the tops, he doesn't need the bottoms. So we're like who's that Daffy Duck? He just fucking walks around in a pajama top. And it's usually the opposite. Like, you could hang with just pajama bottoms. You don't need the pajamas.
With his little tail feather hanging out.
And shot it and share it on our Twitter stream. It's just like, he only needs the tops, don't buy the bottoms.
Because he's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. He only needs a really short red sweater, so don't buy him anything else.
He also has his head stuck in a honey jar.
Oh, bother.
So our next news story that I wanted to bring up, which I think is a cheerful one, is Google recently rolled out prototypes of its like self-driving cars. Now we've like seen Google self-driving cars before, but these are like complete engineered only to be self-driven. They have no steering wheel and no pedals. You sit inside and they drive around. They only go 25 miles an hour, and they are not going to be released widely. They're only going around the Google campus. They're basically just a prototype.
So how does it work? It just has sensors all around it, so it knows where to go and how to park and all that shit?
Yeah. So basically, it has like this like thing on the top that like spins around and like I'm gonna say it's some kind of radar, but it just detects obstacles, and it has like an algorithm that like understands like the shape of the road and like interactions between other vehicles. They've had them on the road for a while, and there's never been an accident. Like they're pretty proven technology at this point.
I mean, when you're going 25 miles an hour, what's the worst accident you can have anyway?
But Bean's looking at the picture of it right now.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous looking.
They're almost like little smart cars, but they put like this weird sort of cheerful face on it.
There's some vague racism going on here, but I can't identify why.
Well, the Asian Society of the Americas actually cut funding for our podcast to invest in this so that they don't have to drive anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of vague racism, sorry about that. My grandmother's Asian.
Got
So.
that in there because we had almost gone this whole episode without making a racist joke.
Yeah. Cue the shark joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Wait, but it gives you no opportunity to control the car whatsoever. I'm definitely like, this car is going to revolt against humanity, and we're all on the side of it as they drive us off the road.
well, so here's the thing that I think is this technology is going to happen. It's going to be in cars, like I would say, in the next 5 years. it's not going to be like this. You will be able to control your own car because it's going to take a long time to get used to this. But eventually, I would bet you're going to have to pay extra to get a car that you can steer yourself.
Right.
Because if you think about it, from the standpoint of like environmentalism, like computer-controlled cars are way more efficient. They're going to use a whole lot less fuel. A lot less need for like horsepower because that's what humans want. Big horsepower, you know. And also, like, just the way that computer-controlled cars can interact is a lot more efficient. There won't be any traffic. They can arrange themselves like a train. You know, there's just very little that you have to do. You know, it just simplifies the process a lot. And I think in the future, if you want to operate your own car, it's going to be like a four-wheeler or a dirt bike is now. It's like something you do for fun, but you don't commute to work in a car that you control because that's stupid. Why would you? It would be a waste. Also, probably you're not going to own cars. Like, why would you own this Google car?
Right.
Like, it would come and take you to work, and then it would go do other stuff. Like, why would it sit in a parking lot all the time?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense to own it. It would only make sense to, like, have an account. And, you know, you pay by, like, the number of trips or miles or whatever. And, you know, it comes on a schedule, or you have a smartphone app that says, you know, come get me. And it takes you wherever you want to go.
God, in 100 years, our time is like, we're all, like,
This is
driving
gonna
around
be-
in our own cars.
This will be 20, I bet, or 10.
Imagine how much it sucks to be someone who bought a Hummer 10 years ago. They were like, this is great. This is the best car out there. They already have fucking hatred for their own vehicle. I think about that sometimes because you see a car, like I remember when the PT Cruiser came out and you're like, oh, that's a cool car. It kind of looks like a hearse or whatever. It's something different.
And that was cool.
Yes and no.
No, I did, but I thought it was a kind of cool car. I would never buy one. But then imagine if you had that car, right? Getting in it every day. That's like having to wear like your carpenter overalls to work, and you're like, why am I forced to? Like, you have no choice. That's your one car. You can't be like, I don't own this and just hide it in your garage. Like, that is your only option.
Like if you had to wear cross colors for like 5
Yes.
You can't just go to Forever 21 and buy
Cross colors. I always.
How come you don't wear cross colors overalls?
I'm wearing the bottoms right now. I keep my overalls hanging the way they're supposed to be worn.
Like lime green overalls with like one strap down and like a bright purple t-shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Like racial harmony slogan on it.
Yeah. You look like an extra from the set of Living Single, which is a great show. Speaking of Living Single, friend of the pod, Melissa, this weekend. So she can retire her double-headed dildo, and she's no longer living single.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats, Melissa. We hope you got the bouquet that we sent you.
Bizzle, you looking at the podcast notes?
No.
Okay. I'll take us through this. There was a story recently, well, not that recently, but that the FBI was changing its policy on pot because it couldn't find enough cybersecurity experts that would agree to its stringent anti-marijuana policy.
Yeah, why would they get hired by the FDA? They can just go be fucking freelancers and get billed all the time.
And make piles of money.
Piles of money.
Right. Also, this would seem to indicate that there's a lot of genius stoners out there.
Mm-hmm.
There have been subsequent articles. I'm looking at the Ars Technica article. But I want to say it's.
Oh, I'm so glad other people smoke weed on their way to job. They feel so much better.
They totally don't. Anyway, so there have been subsequent articles indicating that the FBI has since like retracted the statement that there was such a political kerfuffle about it. But I think it's interesting, and I think it sort of points towards like where our culture is headed on the whole topic. I think that people are starting to feel like a little more confident making decisions about their lives based on how intrusive they're willing to allow their employers to be, especially on pot. So
Someday in the near future, we're all going to be stoned and letting our cars drive us around. And it won't be-
That sounds fucking amazing, actually.
I know. The future is bright.
Right now, I'm just fucking fat and riding a rascal scooter. I can't wait to be really thin, high, and in a fucking self-driving car.
Byram, I'm gonna give you an acting tip. Don't pluck your eyebrows on camera.
No, I have like one really long coarse one that I'm trying to pull out, and I'm pulling out everything around it instead of that one.
Put it really close to the camera, and then watching at home, can you tweet at Byram at Fat Bad Baby the location of his giant coarse hair that he wants?
So the weird thing is, I have like really faint eyebrows to begin with. Like they're super light. I look like Whoopi Goldberg. I have like basically no eyebrows. But as I've gotten older, I've been getting fucking long ones that grow, and they're like white. And I try to pull them out, but they're so embedded, and I wind up pulling all the dark ones out around it. So I look like I think I just got it. No, I didn't get it. I got more white ones.
Like the next step is Byram podcasting shirtless from the toilet.
Yeah.
I almost did once. I remember the one day I was wearing a robe, and it was really low cut, and then I had to hurry up the podcast because I had to go take a shit.
You look like Lebowski with a thyroid.
Podcast because I've had it a couple of times.
Oh, I got it.
8:59.
Get it close to the camera. People want to see it.
Can you see it?
Oh,
Oh,
You
yeah.
really can.
Yeah, that had like a follicle on it.
So
Yeah, that's why it was so hard to pull out, I guess, but it was like so fucking coarse.
folks on the audio podcast who haven't turned off already, which is none,
Yeah.
tune into YouTube if you want to see Byram's huge coarse eyebrow.
Feels so much better now.
And now that this podcast has totally gone off the rails,
Was it ever, when was it on the rails?
it's not. It
This is
actually,
not- It's not a monorail.
this is a terrible podcast.
This podcast is in a Google car. We only have one path, and we don't decide it.
Podcast in the Google car.
Wait, we didn't address why you were in Jersey, Elizabeth.
Oh, because yesterday was Oak and Amy's housewarming barbecue / baby warming barbecue.
Oh, you're a month away from being a dad.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
4.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And she is making her presence known in her poor mother's stomach.
Why, you can see like her hand and foot when Amy's walking.
Yeah, she was like trying to fist pound everybody.
So you're heading back up to Boston today?
In about a month, episodes of the podcast are going to include me with the Bjorn.
You know, my former boss put something, I know this is a good question for you. My former boss tweeted something yesterday, and he said, you're supposed to give your seat on the subway to a woman who's pregnant or carrying a baby, but do you offer it to a father who has a baby and a baby Bjorn? And he mentioned the baby Bjorn. I think it was an article, product placement. But like, what would you guys do? Would you give the seat to a father holding a baby?
Depends on how drunk the father is.
True. Okay.
But you know what? I don't sit on the subway if there aren't enough seats for everyone that's there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to, like, what I fear the most is, like, not paying attention to what's going on around me and there being, like, a pregnant woman or, like, a 100-year-old woman standing right next to me.
Yeah.
Sitting there, like, playing Angry Birds.
And
Not
everyone
paying
on the train,
attention,
like,
and then I
hates
look
you.
up, and there's like a pregnant woman like weeping and like looking down at me. So if it's crowded, if the train's crowded, I just stand up. But Amy, having traveled on the subway, visibly pregnant a number of times, has been offered a seat once,
Wow.
and it's just nobody will get up.
Yeah.
And we've actually talked to a couple of people who've like admitted that they don't get up.
I know a guy who says that he makes a point of not getting up for people.
I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes I've been conflicted with getting up because you want to offer your seat to someone who's not standing next to you, but it's weird to like get their attention and be like, "Here, come here," and then not get up till they get there.
Take my seat. That's the weirdest thing for me is to be like, you look like you can't handle standing up.
Yeah.
I'm like passing a judgment on your ability to like.
Right. If it's
stand
like
up for the drink.
like a 55-year-old woman who like
Yeah.
looks tired,
She's
like,
like,
hey,
I'm
you're
a-
hurting. She's like, what?
Yeah, I do
Fuck
Pilates.
you.
What are you talking about? I'm perfectly healthy. That's what happens to me every time I offer my seat to somebody. They're kind of like, I'm fine. I'm getting off the next stop. Go fuck yourself.
I don't know if I shared this story on this podcast before, but one of my friends is heavy and she only gains weight in her stomach area. So one day we met up for lunch and she was really, really upset. You know, we used to go to like Chipotle or whatever for lunch. And she goes, "Do you mind if we do something healthier?" This morning on the way to work, someone offered me their seat and insisted on it. And she's like, "And I'm not pregnant." And so we had salads or whatever. And it was around the time that the Powerball jackpot was like 500 million, 600 million or whatever. So after lunch, I was like, you know what, on the way back to the office, let's just go grab some lottery tickets. If we win, it'll cheer you up. So we go there, I play like $10, and I was like, thanks. I was like, I hope these are the winning tickets. And the guy goes, yeah, good luck. It looks like you're going to need it. And he points to her, insinuating that we're expecting a kid. And my reaction was, no, we're not together.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, no, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, we don't need it. I was like more concerned with her, with the guy thinking that we were a couple rather than him thinking we were expecting a baby.
Wow. I think I just would have made a really loud like pterodactyl noise. Like, ah! This is not nothing. Or I would have like had to just immediately commit an armed robbery just to stop the conversation from happening.
I would have just started squeezing all the Three Musketeers bars in his store. All right, guys, it's 9:04. I have to at least pretend that I'm going to work.
All right, you guys, this podcast was horrible,
So bad.
but I'm really glad we did it.
Me too.
Yeah, and then next Saturday, I'm shooting a movie, which sounds so much better than it is. It's for the Asian Film Society. I swear to God, I'm not joking. They have this 72-hour film shoot, and my friend from acting class, she's Chinese, she's part of the society. It's a 72-hour film shoot on Friday. They give us the theme. The writers for our group will spend Friday night till Saturday morning writing a script. The actors shoot it on Saturday night until Sunday. Editors look at it, and then someone releases it to the society to view. But the head of casting for ABC Primetime, Marcy Phillips, is on the judging panel. So there's an opportunity she'll see this. But anyway, I will be free Sunday morning, but then I actually have to go to an Asian wedding Sunday afternoon. My Vietnamese friend is marrying a black guy, so it's going to be a great wedding.
Wow.
And I'll take those.
We're allowed to be racist next week.
We should cover that.
Yeah.
I'll be the Malaysian correspondent.
We have Amy and I have birthing class both days next weekend, so
Oh,
we'll have to
alright.
do something in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for
Drive safe to Beantown.
Peace out.
Laters.